Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Racha Kodash, for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, that were well, Wabarakatham, unto the elect. This is the Brother Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson. Okay, and this is going to be a part 2 of the lesson that I made titled, Be Ye Strong in the Lord. All right, because as I touched on, we're not called into the truth just to stay on one level of faith, on one level of the fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, but we're called to be strong, all right, in Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. All right, and what that looks like is you constantly going through self-examination and different things, all right, moving different things out of the way so that your roots could get deeper, so that you could be a more profitable servant unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. All right, you're seeking to please him, as when you're fearing the Lord, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Let's grab that. Then I continue on with my precepts. This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 16. It says, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. Right, if you love me, keep my commandments. Okay? Now, as it says in the first half, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him. It's well pleasing unto the Lord, all right, as you gather more strength, all right, with him. That's definitely well pleasing unto him, because the only way you can do that is by getting closer to him. Okay? Now, as you get closer to him, the only way you can do that is by receiving more of his spirit, by fearing him more. Okay? And he's getting closer to you as you get closer to him. So you know that the Father likes that, and he has to draw you near unto him anyway, but he has pleasure in that. Okay? James 4 and 8. Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Right. All right, so we have to wash our hands. All right, we have to purify our hearts. We cannot be double-minded, because you can't go to the Lord like that. All right, you're not going to receive anything. All right, the prayers that you pray, it won't be answered because you doubt. Yahweh Shai could not perform any great miracles in that one city he went to. I believe it could have been Capernaum. I believe it was Capernaum. All right, because what? Because there was not any faith like that there. He could only, all right, put his hands on a few sick people. Okay? So the Lord is only going to act off of your faith. Lord's where I do a lesson on that. But the Lord is going to act off of the faith that you got now. He has the power. All right, but he's not about to do anything outside of what you believe he can do. All right, and that's heavy alone. Okay? So you want to make sure you have faith on a high level, because as we come into these times where, things are just getting, it's more perils, all right, that are here and that are coming. We're going to need, all right, a lot of strength drawn from Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai to keep going. That's the only way we're going to be able to keep going. That's the only way we can keep going now. Different things that happen now. All right, even in my life where it's like, man, fuck, I don't know how, I'm going to continue really. All right, but of course, that, of course, Lord's will, you're going to continue, of course. But it's just so heavy. It's like, shit, man, I don't even know. All right, but the spirit takes over. All right, wisdom meets you in your thoughts, in your thoughts. Okay, because that's just the flesh. All right, which we're all in the flesh. We all deal with it, But wisdom has to meet you. All right, that strength has to kick in. Okay, and then you can continue. Without Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, there is no being strong and continuing. It just isn't. We need to be close to the Lord, and he's close to us, and we're drawing out of that spiritual bank account. All right, we storing up. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're storing up, man. Make sure you're being strong in Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Okay, not weak, not just giving into any temptation, any everything. Okay, notice when the spirit is telling you something. I even got to do better on that. As I make this lesson, I'm speaking to myself. So notice when the Spirit is telling you something. Hey, chill out on that, or hey, you need to do this more, whatever it may be. All right. It's like y'all received a call, but yeah, all right, you got to know yourself and take heed unto yourself, because you got to understand Yahushua is returning and he's looking for the ones that have faith on earth. All right. Matter of fact, let's grab that. This is why you need to be strong, because you got to endure unto the end. That's why. Okay. Luke 18:8. I tell you that this is Yahushua speaking. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Speaking of the elect. All right. It's not another 1,000 years. All right. It's not another 250 years, whatever. All right. These other camps are saying. All right. That's not within prophecy. You line the prophecies up. You measure them diligently. We know that we're in that time. We're at the door. It says, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth? Now, why is Yahushua saying it like that? Because there are going to be a lot of different things along that path, all right, that everybody that claims they're in the truth, there's a lot of different things thrown in your path that you got to overcome, okay, that if you don't, your faith is going to dwindle, okay, because you're not going to believe that the Most High is with you so much so. All right, because of what you're doing, your conscience is going to condemn you, or you're going to grow prideful, all right, to where you think the Most High is just with you. Whatever you do, no matter what, you always right. You could do what you want to do. You could mix the doctrine. You can whatever, because your emotions, whatever it may be, whatever. All right, and that's a lot of people's detriment as well. All right, you want to be right in the middle where you're supposed to be, away from that fire, away from that water, all right, and facing what you got to face. And going through it, all right, going through those obstacles, all right, and learning your lessons, okay? That's a big thing, man. All right, accountability, all right. But as it says, when the Son of Man cometh, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth? Why is it worded like that? Because enduring unto the end, you're gonna go through a lot of things, all right, to deter your faith. That's what Satan is trying to do, get you to fall out the truth. Let me grab that. Let's get Matthew 24:13. It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Now, we just read where Yahushua said in Luke, all right, 18:8, all right, shall he find faith on earth when he comes? So the ones that have faith is who's going to get saved. But the ones that got faith has to endure a lot of particular things. This is why you got to be strong, because like I got in that first, the part 1, all right, be ye strong in the Lord. The one that had those short roots that can receive the truth, anon with joy at first. All right, then the tribulation came, which is that sun scorching it. All right, that's when it fell off. This is why you got to be strong. So that in a day of adversity, you're not proven to be weak. Okay. Now I want to go into this word shall endure. I'm going to play it in the Greek.
Strong's G 5278. Hupamano. Hupamano.
Okay, and it says to remain, to tarry behind, to remain, abide, not recede or flee, right? When these certain things happen to you, okay, now, of course, we know the hour of temptation is coming. All right, we know that Esau is going to come down with great wrath. We know particular things that all of us are going to have to face. But individually, in your walk, is certain things that you got to overcome, okay? It's certain things that you got to overcome. All right, so that you can grow, so that you can continue, so that you can be strong. If you don't overcome certain things, then you're not going to be as strong as you think. All right, you're not as strong as you think. The Lord put those things there for whatever reason. Okay, and as you overcome, you gain more strength. Okay, and you gain the experience from whatever that was to give you. Okay, and discipline, of course, discipline, because he that resists discipline crowneth his life. Okay, and that's definitely Slaki, he that resists pleasures, Salakia, Satan. All right, but he that resists pleasures crowneth his life. Okay, and that's definitely what we're doing, man. Resisting certain pleasures. You might be tired, all right, but then you got to do the work. You got to go out there on the highways and byways, whatever, make your lesson, or maybe you set aside some time to study, but then a certain thing happened in your day, and now you don't want to do that anymore. Now it's more of a fight to do that, to get So it's gonna be a lot of different things there, man. But you want to remain. All right, you don't want to recede or flee. Now let's keep going on this word. It says to persevere. Now I want to stop there and grab this precept. All right. This is Revelation 3:10 in the NLT. Revelation 3:10 in the NLT. Because, this is Yahweh Shah speaking, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon the whole world to test those who belong to this world, right? It's to test you of what God do you serve. That hour of temptation. Are you going to take that C-hip or not? Okay? Because that's a great test that's coming. We see it's at the door. All right, but as that key word is persevere, I want to grab it. All right, persevere. Definition on Google. Okay. It says to persevere means to continue steadfastly. Hold on. The only way you're going to be steadfast is if you have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Let's prove that right quick and we'll jump back. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 23. These are aspects that wisdom gives the person that is dwelling with. Okay. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 23. Kind to man, steadfast. You see? Steadfast. So the only way you're going to be steadfast to persevere is if you're drawing more of this spirit from Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, of his spirit, his energy, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. And you can get more and more of it if you ask in the proper way. Of course, you go into prayer and you physically, literally are asking, but you're also fearing him more. All right. In your day to day, you're showing more of the fear of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, resisting certain things. Okay. That the Lord does not have pleasure in. All right. Even things that it might not be outright a sin. Okay. But if you indulge in that thing at all because of your spirit, all right, it could deter you. Or if you do it too much because of your spirit, all right, it makes you weak. It makes you weaker. You don't want to do anything to lose strength. All right, you only want to gain. And it's of course it's a fight. It's easier said than done. It's a fight, but it's a fight that's necessary. All right, this is what the elect will be doing. Okay? You don't just want to be, you're just giving in. Okay? Now let's go back to that word persevere. It says, all right, to persevere on Google. To persevere means to continue steadfastly in a course of action, purpose, or belief despite facing difficulties, obstacles, opposition, or discouragement, right? And the Lord is gonna allow Satan to throw all kind of curveballs of discouragement, difficulties, obstacles, all right, to deter your belief so that you can't be steadfast. Oh, the Lord ain't messing with you. The Lord ain't dealing with you. Look what you're doing. Or look what you did. Look what you used to do. Look who you used to be. Okay? Or whatever it is, just the temptation pulling on you, all right, to get you to do something, whatever. It can come in a manifold of different ways. But don't give in. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Al Shah is with you. He is trying you. All right, and you got to know that, man. And if you replace that pleasure with the fear of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, you are now drawing in more power. You're becoming more powerful in the Lord. You're becoming more stronger in the Lord. Okay? Remember that, man. As you sacrifice those pleasures or whatever they are, whatever it is, you sacrifice that, it's getting replaced with something. It's getting replaced with the fear of the Lord. So you're getting more of that power, more of that steadfastness. All right, so if you want to persevere, all right, the commandment to persevere unto the end, endure unto the end, You're going to need that spirit, all right, to be steadfast, unmovable, to continue, all right, to stay in this truth, not to fall out. Okay, now going back to Matthew 24, okay, in verse 13, all right, that word shall endure. As we were reading it, it says to remain, abide, all right, so to stay in this truth, all right, no matter what is thrown at you. It says not recede or flee, right, because certain things happen, and you got guys where they literally fall out, they go away, all right, and then they become even more worse. You don't want to be like that, okay? So follow the directions of the scriptures. It says to persevere under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in Hamashiach. Right. That's the whole point. All right. That is the whole point. Okay. As you're going through different misfortunes and trials, which are tests, all right, you're holding fast to the faith that you have in Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and you're not withering away. All right. Some dudes fall out immediately or even slowly over the years, over the months, weeks, days, whatever. All right. You're not just feeding into negative thoughts. You're rebuking those things, all right, and clinging to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Matter of fact, as you go through misfortunes and trials, you holding even more fast to your crown, even more fast to the faith that you got in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, knowing that that's all you got anyway to get out of that thing. Okay, that's the real reaction that the elect are gonna have. All right, that they're gonna cling even harder to the Lord. So the fire really does purify. Because if you're not clinging on harder, that means you're slipping away. You're letting loose. Okay, that is one of the two. It ain't the same. Ain't no way it's staying the same. Okay. And the Lord knows how to get that reaction. He knows what fire to try you with. Okay. It says to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. Right. Okay. And of course, in the Strong's definition, all right, it says suffer. Okay, so you're gonna have to suffer, man. We all have a path of sufferings. We have a cup that we have to drink. All right, as the two sons of Zebedee, Yahweh Shai asked them, hey, you don't know what you asking for. Are you sure you can drink the cup that I'm able to drink? All right, and even at one point, Yahweh Shai asked for that cup to be passed away from him, and the Father didn't answer because that was his will for that to be done. Okay, so you got to understand this. All right, so understanding that, you want to get all the power you can. You want to be as steadfast as possible. You want to fight with everything you got. Okay? Because once that time come of Jacob's trouble and it's just over, all right, no more preaching, no more, watching lessons. All right, it's just going to be the oil that you done stored up. What you got. Okay? What's in your mind? What's in you? You don't know if you're going to have your scriptures or not, your notes or not. All right, we ain't gonna have these phones. Okay. So you really want to focus, all right, on being strong in Yahweh Bashim Shai, especially as different experiences come your way, if ill treatments and misfortunes, clinging harder to Yahweh Bashim Shai, because that's all you got anyway, man. A true believer, that's gonna be their mindset, that's all they got anyway to escape out of that situation. Yahweh Bashim Shai, not some vice. All right, or whatever, some advice, some nigga in the world trying to give you, man, you can't, man, just start smoking, man. It's going to ease your mind, whatever, or whatever. Bullshit, forsake all that, whatever it could be, okay? Nah, I can't make lessons no more. I can't go out no more because, I had to pick up a third job, fourth job, because I ain't got no time for the Lord. That's all bullshit, okay? Niggas getting scared. All right, we at the end. All right. This is where, you really go all out. The last 100 of that 400-yard dash. All right. Give it what you got. Bite down. Okay. Now I want to go here. Matthew 6:22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Now, what is that light that is talking about? The light is of the Holy Spirit. Okay. Once again, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 26. Speaking of wisdom. Matter of fact, start at 25. Speaking of wisdom, it says, for she is the breath of the power of Yahweh, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. Verse 26, here's the point. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light. So that light, all right, if your eye be single, single on what? Single on the fear of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Single on believing in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay? If you can fixate your mind to be single on that, all right, day in and day out, then you're going to be full of that light. And what can you do with that light, man? You can do anything. First of all, you're going to feel it too. All right. It's, you know, it's a action, you know, it's power. It's literal power. You're going to feel it. All right. But what you can do, the things you can accomplish with that type of power in you is literally limitless. Literally limitless. And you're going to need that power in you to continue, all right, to persevere, to be steadfast. You're going to need it. It is not just the, okay, maybe a little bit. No, you're going to need it, man. Keep your eye single. Be single-eyed on Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Just like Peter when he stepped off the ship to walk unto Yahweh Shai, after he said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto the water, and he said, come. And he was single on Yahweh Shai. His eye was single on him. All right, he was focused. And he was walking on the water. And then because of the storm around him, he started to sink. So don't let the situation around you deter your eye from being single, because that's what Satan's going to do. All right, he's trying to agitate your faith to where you're no longer in the truth. You just start being that nigga in the world again. Okay, you go back to whatever, your own vomit. You don't want that. You want to be single-eyed on Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, soaking up all of that light that you can. Okay? And when you fall, you get back up and continue to be single-eyed again. Okay? Now, it says, verse 26, Wisdom Solomon 7:26, for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of Yahweh, and the image of his goodness. Okay? So that power, that light can be in you if you're single-eyed on it. You have to be single-eyed on it. Matthew 6:22 again, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. All right, we know with that light, look at what the men before us in the scriptures have done, have accomplished, calling upon the names of the Lord. Okay? Being full of that light. Okay? Now, verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, so if you just focused on evil stuff, stuff that don't matter, stuff that is not pertaining to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right, not saying all you got to do is have a book in front of your face from when you open your eyes to when you go to sleep, not eating, not drinking water or nothing. Not saying that. All right, but the things that you're doing, your works, day in, day out. All right. If you just focus on evil or, you know, these pleasures of the flesh, then you're going to be full of darkness. As it says, but if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Right? That's that gross darkness. All right. And you're just going to be destroyed. You're just on a path to be destroyed at that point. Okay. So make sure your eye is single. Don't let Satan snatch the single eye from you, because you can be single eyed and then the Lord sends Satan to try you. Okay. And then what? You give in. All right. Or you pass. All right. And you're strengthened through that experience. All right. Of resisting. Okay. And you're proven. All right. That you really want it. All right. And the Lord is just going to pour more into you. Of course, he's just going to pour more into you. Okay. So make sure your eye is single, man. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. Right. Now, I read earlier how they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him. Well, without faith, you can't please him. So obviously faith is a big, big thing with Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. You want to be a believer and you want to be the biggest believer that you can. How are you going to get more of that belief? All right, let's grab this. Proverbs 14:26. In the fear of the Lord Yahweh is strong confidence. Now, this word confidence on Google, it says the definition of confidence. It says similar words: trust, belief, faith. Boom, there you go. All right, it says the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. So confident, you definitely want confidence towards Yahweh Bashim Shai, especially in the time we come in, because you resisting that in the hour of temptation, that sea hip, you resisting it. Then how else are you gonna eat but Yahweh Bashim Shai perform a miraculous thing for you? Where are you gonna go? What's exactly gonna happen? You're gonna need Yahweh Bashim Shai. Need, literally, man. No joke. All right. So you best believe you want some confidence, and you want some strong confidence at that. It says, Proverbs 14:26, in the fear of the Lord. So if you fear the Lord, if you abide in it, this will be opened up to you. It's strong confidence. You're going to have powerful confidence, strong confidence, faith. All right. Strong faith, trust in Yahweh Bashim Shai if you fear the Lord on a high level. All right. Because yet again, it's different levels. You got the one that, the roots got deep and it bear fruit in the parable of the sower. And then you got one that was choked out by thorns, which is the cares and affection of this life, different pleasures, things you want to do and accomplish, the bucket list, YOLO, all that shit. And then the other one that fell upon the stony ground. Okay, the roots couldn't get deep. You want to get those roots deep so you can access the nutrients. All right, because it's going to take more to go farther. All right, with your faith. All right. It just is. All right. This is a time to really dig deep for real. Okay. It says, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Right. All right. That protection, that strong tower. Okay. So that basically concludes my lesson, man. Be strong in Yahweh Bashim Shai. We're not called to just, spring up a little bit. We're called to become that full mustard seed. All right. And to really keep growing until Yahweh Shai comes back. All right. The author and finisher of our faith, man. All right. Where he makes us perfect. He perfects our faith. He changes us. Okay. And we'll be like how he is. Okay. But it's going to take strong confidence to keep going. All right. The scriptures they command us to be strong in the Lord. Okay. So Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash, for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Until next time, Kamar Shalom.